And now, the much awaited topic. How do I actually go about preparing for group discussions? Because there are so many variable unknowns, such as type of GD, topic, personality of other group members, and so forth, to prepare for a GD effectively, you should focus on the things you have control over and not give undue importance to the factors beyond your control. Here are 3 umbrella categories that can help us sort out the factors that we can influence: skills, knowledge, and practice. Let's look at these in reverse order. Group discussion skills are practical skills. Unlike conventional exams, they can't be learned from textbooks and memorization, but should be developed with focus, practice, and dedication. You must have heard of the phrase practice makes perfect. There is no guarantee that a GD will go perfectly, but practice is crucial and will certainly enhance your performance. A great way to practice is to form practice groups with your peers. Take it in turns to act as a panelist. As a panelist, you will be trusted with providing constructive feedback to your peers based on your observations during their group discussion. Then, as a group, spend time reflecting on and analyzing your performance both on a group and individual level, and then devise a practice plan for yourself with specific goals. If possible, it would be super helpful to record the group discussion and watch it afterwards, as the opportunity to view your performance is more impactful than just hearing about it. As you know, during a group discussion, your knowledge and awareness is a dimension that you will be evaluated on. It's very important that you take a keen interest in current affairs, both globally and locally, industry trends, and boost your general knowledge. This is something that requires adequate time and advanced preparation. Possessing knowledge is not enough. Also, do spend some time practicing how to structure your opinions and thoughts on a practice topic, preparing arguments from all angles. Familiarizing yourself in such a way will help you to deliver well-articulated arguments that are memorable and to the point. Skills essential for group discussions can be divided into communication skills and behavioral skills. One strategy that works very well is to conduct a self-evaluation. Be honest with yourself as to the areas you are strong in and identify areas you need to work on. If, for example, you know that your weakness is not being able to be assertive, you can focus on becoming more assertive through targeted practice and by focusing on articulating your thoughts with confidence to a group. If you have engaged in practice group discussions, self-evaluation will become very easy. Getting your message across in an effective manner is crucial. Because time is limited and there is no guarantee as to how long you will get a chance to speak for and when, it is very important that you are concise and to the point. In this regard, it would be helpful to keep the 7 C's of communication in mind. Speak with confidence and conviction. Avoid getting into lengthy explanations and descriptions. Try to ensure that everything you say is relevant, valid, and shows that you have been listening and displays some originality of thought. Now, imagine you had a great point in mind that someone else voices before you. There is no point simply repeating it, but a better way to handle this is to acknowledge it and then extend upon it, or add a fresh new perspective to it. It is also completely okay to disagree with someone if you have a different perspective, but always do so politely and show respect for their opinions. A group discussion is the perfect time to showcase your active listening skills, which we have covered in considerable depth. In a situation where you have multiple people and perspectives, it's very important that someone is listening carefully and empathetically. Take the time to listen, process, and analyze before reacting. Showing non-verbal and verbal signs of being an active listener will go a long way in establishing a rapport with fellow group members. Let's turn to body language. Now, we've learned all about the power of effective body language previously, so let's try to apply that consciously. In a group discussion, it is important that you maintain a confident posture, yet come across as friendly and approachable. Little things can make all the difference, such as when you enter the room, take the initiative to greet fellow candidates with a firm handshake and a positive introduction. During the group discussion, maintain eye contact with people when they are speaking and make eye contact with the group when you are speaking. Also, you can do little things to make yourself heard. If nobody's really paying attention and you have an important point you wish to contribute, try to use an exaggerated gesture or catch somebody's attention by using body language. Now, another more advanced communication skill is that of persuasion and negotiation. If you are convincing, people will pay more attention to you and what you say. You must display confidence and conviction in the opinions you express in order to be persuasive. If your opinions are backed up by logic and reason, they will be even more persuasive. You should also emphasize the positive aspects of your arguments and be perceptive to people's reactions. Negotiation is another powerful technique that can be used strategically. In a group discussion, you are in a good position to negotiate if others have opposing views, you listen to them calmly, and you have a valid viewpoint to offer. To be successful in negotiation, you should challenge others in a tactful manner while establishing trust. Look out for a win-win situation for all, and also know when to compromise. Please note, a win-win does not mean that everyone is right, but that you reach an agreement or solution of sorts that is largely acceptable. Let's now move on and take a look at behavioral skills. Before we look at leadership qualities, let's spend a few minutes looking at 3 important behavioral elements that are often overlooked. Remember, the panelists may be observing you from the minute you enter the room. Your attitude should reflect enthusiasm, cheerfulness, and positivity. If you seem open and approachable, people are more likely to ask you for your opinion and at the same time listen to you. Now, although you may not see the relevance of problem-solving capabilities immediately, GDs can get very challenging and noisy. In situations like those, it is great to have someone who is solution-oriented and takes initiative to get the discussion back on track and tries to steer the group towards some sort of a conclusion, particularly when time is running out. By observing the group carefully, you may notice that someone is not getting a chance to speak at all, which is also a type of problem. You can solve for this by inviting them into the conversation by asking them for their opinion, thereby displaying your own problem-solving capabilities and initiative. Now, teamwork is an integral part of life at work. By establishing that you are accepting, tolerant, and you work well and build up a good rapport with a diverse group of people in a short span of time speaks volumes about your character. Now, when it comes to leadership qualities, there are many important traits that can be portrayed effectively through a group discussion and make you as a candidate stand out. Here are some. Having the ability to assert yourself positively and be heard with all due respect to other candidates. The ability to accurately gauge group dynamics and take on a role accordingly. Being calm and in control. This does not mean having to dominate the discussion. In fact, at times, silence can speak louder than words. Instead of being in outwardly control, try to subtly and tactfully steer the discussion in a fruitful direction where required. A good leader is also all about being an active listener and speaking with intent. Listen carefully to what others have to say and speak when you can add value. Speaking just for the sake of it can be damaging. Finally, leaders should look to set an example to those around them and provide support and encouragement to others. Now that you're all loaded up with tips and strategies for a great group discussion, here are some things that you should avoid at all costs during a group discussion. Don't try to dominate the discussion. Listening is a very important skill, and part of being a good leader is encouraging others by giving them a chance to voice opinions. Never be aggressive, dismissive, or condescending. Pay attention to your tone of voice and body language to make sure that you don't come across as aggressive or intimidating, even unintentionally. Don't interrupt others when they are speaking. Everyone has a right to speak and be heard, so avoid the temptation to jump in. Don't offend or take offense. People may disagree or question your views, but remember, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. What matters most is how we conduct ourselves. And finally, do not attempt to engage with the panel judges during the group discussion. This might be an obvious one, but you'll be surprised that it happens all too often.